Today's top stories. The U.S. Treasury yesterday blacklisted 11 companies for their ties to Iran's Bank Melli, which has been designated as a proliferator by the United States, European Union, and Australia for its role in Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile programs. Stuart Levy, Treasury Undersecretary for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence, said, quote, "The international community has recognized the proliferation risks posed by Iran's Bank Melli. The Treasury action prohibits all transactions involving any of the designees and any U.S. citizen and freezes any assets the designees have under U.S. jurisdiction." Washington has placed sanctions on a number of Iranian institutions in an effort to pressure Tehran to curtail its nuclear drive, which the U.S. says is aimed at developing nuclear weapons. Palestinian National Authority President Mahmoud Abbas today urged Iran to stop interfering in Palestinian affairs. Quote, "We are sending a message to the Iranians and others. Stop interfering in our affairs," he said, after talks with visiting U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton in the West Bank. Abbas spoke on the same day that Iran's Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, called for Muslims around the world to join the Palestinian resistance against Israel. Clinton, who met Israeli leaders yesterday, today criticized Israel's plans to demolish dozens of Palestinian homes in Arab East Jerusalem, calling it unhelpful. Britain's Prime Minister Gordon Brown today will urge the United States to, quote, "seize the moment and work with the world to tackle the global financial crisis," when he addresses a joint session of the U.S. Congress. According to released excerpts of his speech, Brown will say, quote, "So once again I say, we should seize the moment, because never before have I seen a world so willing to come together. Never before has that been more needed." Brown, who will become the 5th British Premier to address a joint session of the U.S. Congress, yesterday held talks with U.S. President Barack Obama, during which the two leaders agreed that improvements were needed to the regulation of the global banking system. Iran's Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, today called on Muslims around the world to join the Palestinian resistance against Israel as he opened a 2-day conference on the Palestinian issue in Tehran. He said, quote, "The only way to save Palestine is resistance and steadfastness. Supporting and helping the Palestinians is a mandatory duty of all Muslims. And I now tell all Muslim brothers and sisters to join forces and break the immunity of the Zionist criminals." Khamenei also said the Holocaust, in which 6 million Jews died, was used to usurp Palestinian land, adding that Israel and the West showed their weakness by not allowing anyone to question the Holocaust. Iran's President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, who had previously drawn international condemnation by calling the Holocaust a, quote, myth, today called it a big lie. Quote, "The story of the Holocaust, a nation without a homeland and a homeland without a nation, their Zionist pretension and pretense of being oppressed, are the big lies of our era, and the prologue to the crimes and the occupations," he said, according to IRNA. These stories and more at IranVNC.com.